Hello everyone, hello beautiful beings, Stefi Lane here, and welcome to your Power Masterclass. This is day 2, and this is all about power, pleasure, alchemy, and discipline. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. If you're looking at my outfit, I'm wearing my bathing suit top. I did not feel like wearing any clothes today, but because this is a live, I do have to wear clothes. So I decided to do my own spin with my bathing suit top and this scarf that I have. I am a minimalist, so I don't have a lot of clothing. I'm actually hoping to bring in more clothing into my life because I've definitely am tapping into those pleasure codes of more abundant clothing versus just fast fashion. And that's something that I'm personally bringing into my life with pleasure. So I want us to make sure that you all are here and that you can hear me, you can see me. If you're here, say hello. How are you feeling? On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being blah and 10 being like ecstatic, how excited are you to talk about pleasure today? Let's see. And I know a lot of you watch the replay. So if you're going to be watching the replay, please put hashtag replay in this so I know that you watched it and that you are watching it. I do understand that this is early for my West Coasters, so yes. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I see myself, so I'm seeing that it's working and everything is good. Okay, hello. I am Stefi Lane, and actually no, Stefi Lane. Hi, I'm Stefi Lane, and I help women reach goals the pleasurable way. And I'm all about pleasure, and I'm all about doing things in the feminine way, but really strategic as well, because we definitely do need that masculine component. And who I am is I am a person that really cut myself off from pleasure for a very long time. I stopped myself. I said it was bad. I said it was wrong. I struggled with this. So the fact that I'm teaching about pleasure today is quite interesting. It's quite a turn of the leaf kind of thing. Like, wow, I'm actually teaching this. I'm actually sharing this knowledge, sharing these codes with you. Good. Okay. I see a few of you hopping on. That is great. And then we're going to have an exercise, but let's go ahead and recap yesterday. Yesterday was all about power and how you can connect power in the body. I got so many messages and comments about your relationship with power and how you feel it in certain parts of your body. So if you feel it in your, if you feel power in your belly, but you don't feel it in your heart, like we were hearing and we were connecting to certain parts of where power is and where power isn't in your body and how you can generate it more through your system. Hi, Kelsey. Hello. Say hi if you're here. And then, of course, if you're watching the replay, say that. Okay. Let me take a sip of my dandelion tea. It's so good. Okay, that felt pleasurable in that moment. And so I'm just looking down at my notes, just so I know that I'm on track. Okay, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, beautiful. Kelsey says, continue to weave it down and through. I love that. Beautiful. All right, let's dive into pleasure, alchemy, and discipline. When you devote to pleasure, you are devoting to feeling it all. You are devoting to committing to feeling it, to absorbing it, to listening to feeling the whole sensations of the world, of life, of your experience. And in order to become more magnetic in your presence, in your energy, in your offerings, is for you to be able to rid off the density, rid off the low frequencies, the low vibrations, and to allow space to come in. And then when the space comes in, the pleasure comes in. Sometimes we think, okay, I'm just gonna go straight for pleasure. But pleasure doesn't really work that way all the time. Pleasure needs to be moved through. And usually pleasure needs to be moved through accessing or understanding where the pain is. And we're not going to go too much into the pain or the pain body and into shadow work today, but When you go through the pain, it gives you more access to the pleasure. And then the pain doesn't control you or dictate you or run your life as much, where you can actually access pleasure and at all and any times that you desire. So to become magnetic, it's releasing those old dense parts of you and allowing pleasure to come in. The more that you understand that pleasure wants to come through you at all times and every times, you understand how it works, because pleasure is not the destination. Pleasure is the journey. Pleasure is not the destination. Pleasure is the journey. So raise your hand if your ancestors, your lineage, your parents, your grandparents, did they prioritize pleasure? I'm pretty sure none of you are raising your hands. You are probably one of the first people in your family lineage to prioritize and seek pleasure. So congratulations. Congrats, congrats, congrats. You were probably one of the first people to feel that, to connect with it, to understand pleasure. So actually what would be pleasurable for me first, because sometimes I just like dive right in and I need grounding. So I'm gonna ground real quick. Let's go ahead and close your eyes and just do a quick little pleasure activation, and then I'm gonna continue with this, download this transmission of pleasure, because it's so good, it's so juicy. I have so much I wanna share with you that I actually kinda wanna close my notes, because I wanna just go on it based on intuition now. So, I mean, I'm gonna keep it bookmarked if I need it, but okay. So go ahead and close your eyes, place your palms facing down to ground, up to receive, deep breath in. And then take a pleasurable exhale out. Good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Accessing pleasure and knowing that it is part of the journey, not the destination, that you can absorb it and feel it and connect with it at any and all times. Okay, perfect. Oh, you can open your eyes. Thank you, that helped me a lot. So pleasure, it has gotten a bad rep for thousands of years, right? It's because the pursuit of pleasure has seen as frivolous, has seen as not worthy, has seen as a waste of time. But the more that you're able, especially as you are building your business, building your empire, building your creations, the more that you're able to access your pleasure, the more you'll be able to connect with love. And the more that you be able to connect with love, the more that you're being able to connect with source. And the more that you're able to connect with source, you're able to connect with love. And pleasure is something that you can have at any and all moments, even in the painful moments. And we're gonna dive into that. Yummy breath. Yes, thank you, Dee. Yeah, it was a yummy breath. So we have resistance to pleasure. We do. And we have pleasure caps, the capacity of what we can allow ourselves to feel. So first, resistance feels like, I don't like to say blocks, but they do. They feel like blocks and things that are stopping you from achieving what you want. It's like a limiting belief. It can feel like stucky, it can feel like murkiness, it can feel like you're dragging your feet in water. That is your resistance to pleasure. Then another resistance is a pleasure cap. So a pleasure cap is like, all right, I've relaxed enough. Oh, you know, I've taken 2 days off. It's time for me to get back to work. Oh, I've kissed my boyfriend for an hour. Okay, we're done. Like, it's like a pleasure cap. A pleasure cap is at the capacity that you allow pleasure to come into your body. And this is a huge, huge, huge hack. And I will tell you right now, the huge hack is that pleasure has no cap. Pleasure is limitless. You've just been sold by society, by programming, that there is a cap to pleasure. That pleasure actually has a thermometer, right? It has a certain capacity. And then you're like, nope, no more. You've got to struggle. And that's where pleasure gets a bad rep, is because people, religion, society believe that the part of life, that life is of suffering, right? You are meant to suffer in life. But if you absorb yourself in a pleasure code and you understand that you could be of the lineage of pleasure, that everything is working out for me. Everything is in the greatest good. I am meant to feel good in all situations, even in the sticky, icky situations. I am meant to feel good. I am meant to feel good. I am meant to feel good. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So how is that landing with you all? And write in the comments, do you believe you have pleasure resistance or a pleasure cap? Do you go, no, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not dressed up enough, I'm stressed, I don't have enough time, I don't have any money, I don't have any resources, so no pleasure, right? Resistance. Or you're like, okay, this is nice, I'm sunbathing, I'm drinking my pina colada, I'm having a good time, or I'm enjoying my child right now, my child is so cute, but nope, I'm good, I'm done, I gotta focus on that bill, I gotta focus on that thing that makes me feel like I am struggling. Okay, perfect. Kelsey says resistance to pleasure. Okay. So I would love to know in the comments what you have. Is it resistance to pleasure or is it a pleasure cap? So Allie says definitely resistance for me. Okay, I want to know, what does resistance feel for you? Dee's like both. Okay, yes, I definitely have both. So when you are in this place of, let's say you're getting a massage. You're getting a massage and they get to one part. And if you start to tighten up, they can't get to the knot, right? That's resistance. Okay, and just say you do release and you go, okay, fine, go to that knot, dig it in, do that deep body work. So they dig it in, they do that and you're like, oh, this is feeling good. Oh, it's feeling real good. Oh, it's feeling so good. I feel so released. Oh no, I gotta pick up my child at 2 o'clock. I'm scared. I have to do the groceries. What are we gonna eat for dinner today? It's that stopping of pleasure, because pleasure flows. And I don't think we know the capacity of how much our body can hold pleasure. And you have to practice this. You can't just all of a sudden be a sex goddess or an orgasmic manifestation queen right away. Maybe you could, but it takes practice. You're like, okay, how am I going to allow pleasure and more pleasure? And where is my cap? And where is this, where am I not allowing myself? Where am I judging myself? And there's these two things that stop you in that track. It's shame and resistance, which we talked about. Shame is the lowest frequency, okay? Shame is like the lowest, and we won't go too much into that. And of course, if you have some stuff that you need to work through, please consult with a therapist, with somebody that can hold you in that place if you have some deep-rooted shame. But when you are able to unroot the shame and transmute the shame, so that means that you're noticing the shame and you are not judging it, you are loving yourself in it, you can actually get off on the shame. And I know this turned sexual real fast, but I had a friend message me and she was like, hey, I was like flirting with a bunch of guys one time and I was like kind of teasing them and I was having some fun, and then all of a sudden this like shame came over me. And this is not just one friend. I've actually had a couple friends tell me this, like a multiple. And they felt shame in that process of being adored and looked upon in a sexual way from a man. But even though they liked it, right? So then I told these friends, these multiple friends, because I'm the person that they come to now. I said, okay, notice that shame and move it through your body and have some fun with it and turn it into like your kink. Turn it into something like you're like, okay, fine, go ahead. Woo! Like in a safe container. And I'm gonna go into discipline soon, but in a safe space, like I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to allow myself, and I'm not gonna judge myself. I'm not gonna critique myself. I'm not gonna go into people pleasing. I'm not gonna try to be a good girl or, whatever. I'm just going to observe and allow the pleasure to move through. Think about how many women love bad boys. They don't love bad boys because of their look. They like bad boys because they push them up through their edge, right? Not necessarily always in the good context, but you like things that have a sting to it. You like things that don't necessarily look quote unquote pretty. But pleasure is the choice of seeing the beauty and the love in all things. Okay? So if you're in line at the DMV and it is long, you're like, guess what? I'm gonna work on my breath. I'm gonna stand here. I mean, this was before COVID, right? I'm gonna stand here, I'm gonna take a deep breath, and I'm gonna work on my breath. And I am just going to exhale and exhale. And when did a woman taking an exhale become something like, what's wrong? I was with some friends or my mom, I think, and I was like, and they're like, what's wrong, Mahita? Nothing's wrong. I just took an exhale. It just felt really good to exhale in that moment. Okay, so Kelsey says, shutting pleasure down and cutting it off, turning off and shutting down. Okay, that is common, just so you know. So cutting off your pleasure, I'm just looking at the time. Okay, we're so good on time. Cutting off your pleasure and turning it off and then also like contracting is totally normal. You are a normal being, but you're learning to play with your edge of like, how can I expand in this moment from an energetic standpoint of snow globing your energy out and up for yourself. So like, you know, I really like this. I really enjoy this. Okay, so let me, before we turned a little sexual, let's go into a non-sexual thing, okay? I used to have a lot of clothes, a lot of clothes. And one of my things was hoarding clothes, and that didn't feel good, it didn't feel pleasurable. My house flooded, I lost everything. It was a big traumatic event, which you'll hear about my story. And I got rid of all my clothes, I got rid of everything, and I basically was minimalistic for 3 years. I decided that I was going to find pleasure in everything I wore and everything I owned with the max of enjoying it. And I noticed that my wardrobe, my clothes, my things, my adornment started to feel more special to me, more sexy, more alive, because I gave attention to the things rather than seeing it as like fast fashion. Okay. All right, I don't understand how to turn the shame example into a kink. Yes, okay, so this is the good stuff. Thanks for asking that. There's a book called Existential Kink you might want to look into. That might be a very, very helpful book. And I know this from an energetic standpoint. I don't necessarily know this from an analytical standpoint. I'm sure that the book will give it to you. But what it is it's seeing the parts of yourself that you have suppressed, you've pushed down, you haven't allowed yourself to feel, and saying, how could I feel good in this moment? How could I not judge myself? Really, this is what it is. Really releasing the judgment of yourself alchemizes, turns the shame into, can turn it into a kink. It can turn it into something that excites you, that's wild, that's vibrant, that's alive, where you're wanting to be seen and heard in that. So let me give you another example. Halloween, okay? Halloween, where all the sluts come out. Why is it that there's this one day of the year and all women, not all, but majority of women decide, I am going to dress slutty today? It's because it is the one day of the year, like Mean Girls say, it's the one day of the year that you are not judged from others. Yes, how to pass through forgiveness first. Yes, have to pass through forgiveness. And Sylvia, let me know if that explains to you. I'm gonna keep going into that because that's a really big question, and it's such a beautiful one when you get it, when you understand it, but I want to keep going. Okay, so Halloween, all the women are dressed up slutty, they're slutty maid, slutty this, slutty that, slutty witch, the whole thing. Why is it that it's one day of year that women get to dress however they want? It's because they're not judged. They're not oppressed. So if a woman likes her breasts, she can show her breasts. If a woman likes her booty, she can show her booty. If a woman likes her legs, she can show them off. She can look a certain way, a vibrant way that feels good for her. And she knows that nobody else is going to judge her. And so what passes through shame, what passes through that is judgment is erased. When you start to learn that judgment can be erased, can be removed. I don't like erased. I like washed away from your body, from your subconscious, where you're like, I feel actually good. I feel beautiful. I feel radiant. Still trying to wrap around myself around it. Yes, it's definitely, I don't want to say an advanced concept, but it is quite an advanced concept. I'll give you a story. When I was 13, my boobs started to come in. This is where we're going. And I got a cute Victoria's Secret bra. And I'm a little girl, but I do have big boobs. And I know I have boobs, that's for sure. But when I was 13, my boobs were started to come in. And I remember I got this Victoria's Secret bra, which was green. And I remember I just kept staring at my boobs. And I was like, they're so pretty. I like them. I like looking at them. This is pleasurable. They look beautiful in that bustier. And I was in psychology class, an AP Psych in high school. I'm not sure how old I was actually, but I was looking at them and a guy saw me looking at my boobs and he said to me, stop looking at your boobs, Stephanie. He said, stop looking at your boobs. And I was like, why? It's so pleasurable. I'm having so much fun because pleasure is innocence. Pleasure is fun. Pleasure is joy. Pleasure is that excitement, that thing where you aim towards feeling good. So in that moment, I was judged from somebody else telling me I'm not supposed to do something when I enjoyed doing it. I liked doing it. I liked looking at them. They were growing. I was becoming a woman. I went through puberty. I started to get boobs. I was happy, and shame came through. I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's great. We're still learning. We're learning. Okay, so like drinking my tea right now. I could drink my tea really, really fast, but that's not enjoyable. That's not pleasurable. Pleasure is observing my tea, drinking it, tasting it, going, oh, it's so good. This is such a good tea. Oh my gosh, who made this tea? I made this tea. It is good. Cheers. It can be in the simple things, and that's when it starts to become mastery, when it's in drinking water, when it's putting lotion on your body, when it's washing your hands. You're like, ooh, this feels good. I like that. Do you ever go to like a fancy hotel and they have like a really cool sink, and you ever wash your hands in the sink and you're like, oh, this feels different. This feels new. And it only feels different and new because you've never seen it, but you actually programmed yourself to have pleasure in that moment. That's why people like going to hotels. That's why people like going on vacation, because it's new. It's novelty. It's different. Whew. We are going for it today. It can be vulnerable to receive. It can be vulnerable to be loved. It can be vulnerable to surrender. And you need safety and a container in order to have pleasure. Pleasure is not something that just goes, right? You need safety and you need a container. And that's where discipline comes in. So I'm gonna go to the discipline. Everything can be pleasurable if we're actually very present in the moment with it. Yes, yes, yes. Everything can be. And the way that I teach is I'm a very much a sensory experience type of teacher. I want you to sense it rather than overanalyze it, because that doesn't work. I mean, it works, but it for these type of teachings, it won't really ingrain in your body. I want you to feel them and know them. I get so excited in restaurants or hotel bathrooms and make them a must-see just in case they have great sinks or wallpaper. Allie, I love you. That is so true. You're like, this is beautiful. This is amazing. I absolutely love this. Okay, so we're going to dive into discipline. Discipline allows freedom. Discipline allows freedom. How does this allow freedom? So discipline creates a container for you to thrive. It helps you reach goals. It helps you set boundaries. It helps you observe things. It helps you strive to get better. And this is an example I have with discipline. You work out, the discipline, the freedom, you get a stronger body. You eat healthy, you have better energy. You drink more water, you have clear skin. You say no to friends on the weekends because you want to work on your business. You make more money, you make more impact. Discipline, it's not necessarily sacrifice. I don't like the word sacrifice. Who likes the word sacrifice? I'm sure nobody does. Discipline is seeing that I'm going to create a container for myself to thrive. Rather than when I looked up the Webster dictionary, it was like pain and suffering and struggle and being reprimanded sort of thing. No, discipline is you setting the container of what it is that you're going to allow in and not allow in. And then it is a sense of self-control, but it is a sense of you being like, this is what's best for me, so I can obtain freedom, so I could obtain pleasure and power. I love the spa bathrooms because they're fully loaded with smell good things. Okay, so Sylvia, so it sounds like you're very sensory experience. So meaning like you love smell. So you're like, that's jasmine. I love jasmine. It reminds me of when I was a little girl and I was picking jasmine with my mom and my grandma, and I had so much fun. And that's how you're allowing pleasure into your body more. You're allowing pleasure into your experience, and you show up more pleasurable in your life, in your business, and your love life, because you notice the little things. And you notice the little things. The little things are the big things. I mean, I already used this example, but like drinking water, it's a grand thing, but it's a little thing. But it's a thing that you need to remember, but you can't just drink a ton of water. That's not going to do anything. You have to drink water throughout the day to create the more energy, to create the clear skin, to create the happy harmony, for you not to get a brain fog. Yeah. Got it. Good. Discipline gives safe space for pleasure to come in because you've decided how you are going to move forward. You've decided what is going to happen in your life. And so I'll give another example. My house is pretty clean right now. I was disciplined that I cleaned my house. Do I like cleaning my house? I mean, I can pay for someone to clean my house, but sometimes I like to clean my own house. And did I like it? Not really. It was kind of boring. Yeah. And, was it time consuming? Yes, it was. But right now, in this moment, I'm looking and I'm enjoying and I'm loving my house because it's clean. And so that allows pleasure to come in. Sylvia says, so like the bubbles in sparkling water, feeling them, appreciating them. Yes, 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 yes. If that brings you pleasure, then do it. Then enjoy it. I used to be a yoga teacher, and I'd always be in yoga clothes and I'd always be in sweaty gear, and I didn't mind it at first, but then I started to realize that I didn't feel magnetic and I didn't feel beautiful because I was always in athletic wear. There's nothing wrong with athletic wear, but after a while you're like, I need to wear a dress, I need to put a skirt on, I need to put some lipstick on, and I didn't feel magnetic. And as soon as I started to put something on me and lipstick on me and I started to do my hair, I started to feel magnetic again and realize, oh, this is a pleasure state for me. This is a pleasure activator for me. Looking good makes me feel good. So that is a pleasure activator. So for you, Sylvia, it may be like getting champagne or bubbly water and be like, ooh, I like it on my tongue, or I love to put berries in it. It's enhancing pleasure and the experience all around. I was looking up the word pleasure, and it comes from Greek, hedonism. And if you hear the word hedonism, you're like, that sounds terrible. But it doesn't. It's actually not. Hedonism is Greek for pleasure, and it means to be in the pursuit of pleasure. So it's you being in the pursuit of things feeling good. And I don't know about you, but why was it bad to pursue things feeling good? Why did we live in a world where feeling good was bad or shamed or judged? Why was struggle the thing on the pedestal? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know why that happened for so long. But struggle doesn't need to be on the pedestal. Your pleasure can be on the pedestal. And it doesn't even have to be on the pedestal. It can be all around you, because it is the boat. It is not the island. It is taking you there through the whole experience. Oh yes, I definitely feel better when I fix up my makeup and cute outfits, but there are days when I love the yoga clothes and fuzzy warm socks and hoodies. Yes, yes. I love that but this is the thing. So Sylvia, if you were in a day where you're like, I just want to be in a big t-shirt, I just want to be in my yoga pants, and I want to be in my socks, but I have to get dressed up. I have to look magnetic. I have to look beautiful. Well, you actually would be leaning away from pleasure, because you're not doing the thing that your body, your soul wants in that moment. And pleasure in that moment is you being in your softness and you being in your clothes and being in, like, you're wrapped in your blanket. That's the pleasure. Advertisers will sell to you that pleasure is an expensive perfume, but it really is not in the expensive perfume. It is in you feeling orgasmic or in love or absorbed in the moment and being like, ooh, this smells good, right? That's the pleasure. It's not in the thing. It's in the essence. It's in the energy. Okay, I want to talk about something really edgy with y'all, but I don't know. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to read some of my notes because they were really good. Pleasure. It's making pleasure the most innocent thing. Think of a little baby. They're so funny and they're giggly and they're like, ha 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 ha, and they find pleasure in everything, and they eat something, they're like happy. Like think of my little niece, like she's just so pleasurable to be around. Such a pleasure. Yes, let's do it edgy. Okay. Pleasure gives you access to loving yourself from love, and pleasure is devotion to finding love in every moment. Pleasure is devotion to finding love in every moment. And I'm talking every moment. I went to go get my car registered in Texas, and I had to wait 45 minutes to get, that's not that long, but I had to wait 45 minutes to get my car looked at. And I was like, this is so boring. I don't want to be here. This is annoying. It's hot, all the things. And then I was like, you know what? No. I'm going to grab my journal, I'm going to listen to some great music, and I'm going to make this pleasurable. I'm going to lean into pleasure. And then I got a ton of work done. I was super productive, and I was extremely happy with what I was doing. So allowing yourself to be in that pleasure. All right, let's go for the edginess. The sacred slut. Okay, so this was the Halloween thing. All the girls are dressing up. Why are they doing this? You know, probably for men's attention, for women's attention. They want to be seen. Why do you think women dress up slutty on Halloween? I would love for you to analyze this first. But I have my theory, and this is my theory, so you may not agree with it. But my theory is that women like to be slutty, and they love to be sensual and sexual and enjoy themselves and have fun. Slutty, by the dictionary, is a woman that is promiscuous and that has a lot of partners. I don't believe in that definition. I believe that slutty is, the sacred slut is you allowing yourself to have it all. And when you're an ethical slut, it's like, I just want to have it all. I want to have all the experiences. I want to enjoy it. I want to have fun. I want to love. I want to kiss this person. I think that girl's sexy. I think that guy's hot. Oh my gosh, I love my outfit. I look so good. Naughty for sure. Okay, so D says naughty. I want to read this to you because the slut essentially comes, the word prostitute is older than the word slut. But I'm going to read this to you. The word prostitute comes from the Greek word prostrate, which means to bow before the altar. To bow before the altar, or to bow before the statue. Originally used to signify a woman or man who has given his or her life in service to the goddess. What happened? That is definitely not the definition now. What happened? What shift? What changed? Ethical slut. I love it. So what happened in that moment? And that would be a very, very long masterclass if we did that. But I do love that definition where the sacredness is to bow before the altar and bow in the altar within the self and the devotion within the self. It is to be, what did they say? Hold on. The divine feminine ability to give herself completely in love, body, mind, soul, and the devotion of another. The divine signature of the sacred prostitute within all women and really within all humanity is what gives us our devotion and unconditional loving nature. Templed off female sexuality specifically. The sacred prostitute shows us how to care for, love, and nurture another life form with our own bodies. A woman's body itself is devotion. A woman's body itself is designed to be unconditional, loving, and nurturing. It is sovereign and is the devotional path. So, so, so beautiful. I can feel that. I have like chills all over my body. But what your exercise today in pleasure is saying to yourself, I want it all and I get to have it all. Obviously without manipulation and without putting yourself in danger, but allowing a little bit or a lot of your sacred slut to come in and be like, how would she do this? How would they move? How would they handle this? How would they, flirt with the person at the register? Or how would they answer the phone? Or how would they dress up? Or how would they look in this situation? And play with archetypes. So this is an archetype that's very, very edgy for a lot of people to play with. Is like, how can I absorb and connect with the sacredness? And how can I connect with the slut, which is not necessarily a bad word. If, I read the dictionary of the word of it. It's of you being of devotion to the self and to the experience and to feeling good. I want it all and I get to have it. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, alter ego. Yes, alter ego. I want it all. So your exercise today is to allow your slut to come and play. You're going to dress, you're going to drink, you're going to purchase, you're going to be like her and flirt even with yourself. Like, do I want to drink this tea right now? And it doesn't have to look overly feminine either. I know a lot of sacred sluts that are very masculine, tomboy, like ready to go for it type of person. It doesn't have to look the way that it looks for me. It's just of you saying, how am I going to open myself up and allow myself to desire the thing I want without harming other people? Because a not ethical slut is somebody that uses manipulation, that uses tactics to get what she wants, right? But if you think about it, that was kind of just survival back then. That was just survival. But now, if you access your sacred slut, it's saying, in this moment, I get to have it all. I want it all, I desire it all, I get to have it all, and I get to enjoy it all, and I get to just be like so celebrational of it and enjoy it. This one was edgy to teach. It was really fun. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yes. Last thing. I got some messages from some women that are struggling with a lot of friends and people falling away. And I will say first, congratulations that you are starting to shed people. But people and friends and family and people fall away. They shed because you are prioritizing yourself. You're prioritizing your pleasure. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And just know that the shedding, the emptiness is allowing for beautiful space and a beautiful love to come in. It's allowing for more and more and more to come in. So congrats. And I know it can feel lonely and you can feel sad and you can feel the abandonment moon and feel like people are leaving you, but it's for the best and it's for the greatest good. I promise you. I've lost a lot of friends on this journey, and some of it my responsibility, and some of it, their accountability. But I have been happier, I have been lighter, I've been more fully expressed in who I am because I allowed that. I allowed the pain to shed so the pleasure can come in. Yeah. Sylvia, heck yeah. Talk about edgy. Yes, it's like a void between who you were and who you're becoming, and people don't come with you. Yes, they don't. They don't come with you. When you prioritize you, people will fall away. And when people fall away, you allow pleasure to come in at all times. And I'm very, very proud of you. So congrats. Your homework is to connect with the sacred slut archetype. If that's too edgy for you, maybe just play with your lover archetype, which your lovers, is just like, ooh, this is fun, this is exciting. Where the slut's like, I want it all, I'm enjoying it all. And just know that I'm going to be launching a mastermind called Gold and Goddess Mastermind, which is all about growing your business and being seen, being held, and creating videos and live videos for you to be more felt in this space and in this world, because it's really important that people see you, connect with you, and jive with you. So I love you all. I'm going to post the homework, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Let's take a deep breath. Whew. I'm just gonna see my notes to make sure. I wrote so many notes. I was really excited about teaching this one. And I'm gonna post that article so you can read about the sacred slut prostitute. Okay.